everybody, it's me, Jill, and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 9, Episode 16. Meet Rinna Jane. This episode opens up. We are still in Hawaii. It's the day after Camille's wedding, and the ladies are having like a final breakfast together or lunch before they get on the plane and go back home. Kyle is complaining now that she's losing her voice, and Rinna's like, oh, it's happening now. It's happening for you. Rinna, of course, is back in full voice. In the confessional, Kyle's like, I cannot afford to be sick because I've got to get home and immediately start planning Farrah's birthday party. Okay. You know how most women would be like, I cannot afford to be sick because if I miss work, I can't afford to feed the kids or, that kind of thing. No. She can't afford to be sick because she has to plan with the help of a party planner, right? Because Glenn will be there. A $200,000 birthday party for her daughter. I mean, listen, of course I love the opulence and the extravagance. That's why we watch the show. I just don't like when they talk about it. Like Kyle all the time. Okay, Dorit joins them at the table. Everyone's like, how are you? And she tells them she's tired. And Kyle goes, how late did you go last night? And we get footage of the night before Camille's wedding reception. And they're drinking and dancing and partying. And Kyle goes, what time is it? Oh, it's 8:44. It's funny. So Camille and a couple of her friends are also joining them for this brunch. And Kyle has to tell her the story about Alexia's good friend getting robbed and them taking the workers to get lie detector tests. And guess who else was there? Camille, who? LVP? They're like, yeah. And she goes, why? Why was she there? Kyle goes, why do you think? And Camille goes, oh no, you're kidding. Over a dog? This is ridiculous. Then Teddy, of course, has to say, did she reach out to you on your wedding day? Camille, I didn't hear from her. And they are now all working really hard to try and make something out of this. Then Rinna gets involved and she says, that had to hurt, huh? And then Dorit said, and she tweeted something, didn't she? Then we get to see Lisa Vanderpump's tweet on the day of Camille's wedding, which was like, let's concentrate on the important stuff. Go Dodgers. Everyone thought that was a real slap in the face to Camille. And Camille's like, yeah, that was a bit of an ouch. I mean, she didn't want to be there. You guys didn't really want her there. I mean, let it go. She's going to be fine without you, ladies, and you all will be fine without her. And we all at home are going to be fine without this storyline anymore, okay? At the very beginning of this season, I was like, oh, I mean, this dog gate cannot go on that long, right? But apparently I was wrong. This is episode 16, so we've been talking about it for 4 months. Anyway, Camille is saying, yeah, it was a bit of an owie. She should have been here for me and to put all this to rest. You really wanted her to, put all of that to rest on your wedding day? I don't get it. But anyway, the ladies all have to go pack and go home. And Camille and David are going to honeymoon in Switzerland, so I don't know if they're going right away or what, but she's not going back to California with them. Okay, now we are at Denise's house, and she is just getting home from working on her Christmas movie. And as she's walking in the door, Aaron and Eloise are opening this gift from Lisa Rinna and Harry Hamlin. And the card says, cheers to you and Aaron. Many happy endings. Love, Lisa and Harry. So Denise walks in and, he says hello to her and everything. And then he's like, we got this from Lisa Rinna. And he's like, what does this mean? And she goes, oh, remember the camping trip? I might have done something you're not happy about. And he's like, you told everybody about that. And she's like, yeah. And he's like, okay. Okay, now everybody is on the shuttle bus heading to the airport in Hawaii. And Lisa Rinna brings up that she just saw an article online about Lisa Vanderpump not going to Camille's wedding. And Camille is defending Lisa. She's going through a lot right now, so I completely understand. And they're all getting hot under the collar because Camille is being two-faced. Because to their face, Camille was like, yeah, that was an owie. That she should have been here. And then to the press, she's saying something different. You know, that's Camille. Camille has always been like that. She's always been on the side of who's ever standing right in front of her. She's always kind of just been someone who doesn't want to ruffle feathers. If she didn't want to defend Lisa Vanderpump in front of this whole table of women, she should have just maybe said nothing. But she kind of goes the extra step. But the funniest part of this whole thing is that Lisa Rinna is saying, I don't trust somebody that talks out of both sides of their mouth. Are we forgetting not that long ago that you got caught in a lie there, Lisa? I love every hypocritical bone in her body. She is obnoxious, and I appreciate that hustle. Oh, well, now we just get a perfect example. Lisa Rinna, who's going off on a tangent now, goes on to say, you know, she's so hypocritical and she has said things about every single one of us behind our backs, and I know it. Like, Dorit, she has talked about you behind your back. I'm impressed with how long Lisa Rinna kept this secret. Do you remember before Camille's engagement party when she was looking at the venue and Lisa Rinna was with her? Oh no, I'm sorry. It was before Camille's 50th birthday party. And she started saying things about, I think Lisa Vanderpump maybe. But then she talked about Dorit and said that she didn't trust her. Like, I don't know. Where do they get their money from? It was so juicy and delicious, you guys. So now Rinna is bringing that up. She's not telling her exactly what she said, but she's bringing it up. And you know what Lisa Rinna is not bringing up? The fact that Lisa Rinna laughed and thought it was funny and went along with it at the time. Oh, these ladies. I love it so much. Okay, so now Kyle is taking Lisa Rinna to get a mammogram. And they're in the car talking. It's the day of Farrah's party. She tells us that the party cost about 15 Birkin bags. So what is that? Birkin bags are like, on average, say 20 grand. So whatever, I'm not going to do the math, but it all adds up to too much money for a 30th birthday party. And you have 4 kids who are all going to turn 30 at some point. Okay, so at the office where they're getting their mammograms, actually it was just supposed to be a mammogram for Lisa Rinna, and Kyle was bringing her there for moral support. But then they had an opening and Kyle was supposed to have one the next week anyway. So Kyle decided to just have hers right then and there. And you know how scared Kyle is over every single thing. I don't know why she even agreed to do this on the day of the party, but she did. And unfortunately, they weren't sure what they saw on the films and they just needed to get another look at it. That has happened to me once, only it wasn't all in the same day and so fast like this. They didn't read them right while I was still there. And so I went home and then it was like, I got a call in a few days saying they wanted to take another image and I had to go someplace different, and just the not knowing and the waiting, that is so scary. And then once they got a better picture, it was fine. But I totally understand, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do too, how nerve-wracking it can be. So although she does overreact to everything, but in this case, I do kind of feel for her. But luckily, she doesn't have to wait too long before they say, okay, everything is perfect and fine. And Lisa Rinna's was fine too. Also, I forgot to say The other factor for Kyle is that when Kyle was 30 years old, that's when her mother found a lump in her breast. And because she hadn't gone for regular mammograms or anything, it was already too late. And, she had breast cancer. And I believe that's what she died from. So Kyle has all that in her mind anyway when she goes for these mammograms. And then the fact that this is Farrah's 30th birthday, when Kyle goes and they need to take extra images. Anyway, like I said, I totally give her a pass this time for being freaked out. Okay, now we see people getting dressed in their costumes for Farrahween, which is what they call Farrah's birthday every year because she was born on Halloween. So every year her birthday had a Halloween theme and everyone dresses up in costume. So we see PK and Dorit. And PK is going to be Karl Lagerfeld. And Dorit is going to be his cat Chopette. Oh, God. All right, over at Kyle's house, we see that the guys are delivering a Ferris wheel. Why not? And Kyle and her daughters are getting ready. They have flown in Sophia again. She goes to school in Washington, D.C. They flew her home to take Christmas photos, and they're flying her home again for her sister's birthday party. Anyway, everyone is bustling around getting things ready over Kyle's house. And oh my God, you guys, is this a giant life-size light bright? That I think is so cool, and I would love to do it. Okay, so people are starting to arrive now. Teddy and Edwin are like Suicide Squad, I think. And we know Dorit and PK are Karl Lagerfeld and his cat. And Erica, my first reaction was, did she not know it was a costume party? Because she's got a leopard print dress, thigh-high boots, okay, normal everyday attire for her, and a little cat ear headband. Not a lot of effort put into her costume, okay? I wasn't even sure she was in one, but yeah, I guess she's supposed to be a leopard. When Doreen and PK walk up, Erica goes, "Oh, I love you as Karl." And Dory goes, "I told you, I knew Erica would know who you are, PK." Oh, come on. I'm a suburban housewife from the Midwest, and I know who Karl Lagerfeld is. What I can't figure out is what Denise and Aaron are. Is she like a slutty Bo Peep or something? I don't know. Aaron is like either a Prince Charming or like a huntsman or something with the cape. That one I haven't quite figured out yet. Okay, now Lisa Rinna walks in and she is dressed as Erica Jane, which we all know from previews and stuff. But Erica goes, "You bitch! You dressed like me!" And they hug, and Lisa Rinna is doing this weird thing where she is playing the part of Erica Jane, and she will not break character. And it's very strange. Like, I don't know if she thinks she's being hired for a dinner theater kind of thing or what. Okay, so Kim Richards shows up, and she's some kind of gangster. I should have told you, Kyle is a Playboy bunny, and Mauricio is Hugh Hefner. Kyle was having trouble fitting into her costume, so Mauricio had to run and get another one. And anyway, all is well, and now she shows up, and she and Kim go over to where the ladies are, and Lisa Rinna, Kim comes up to her. Lisa Rinna puts on her glasses, and she goes, "Hi, I'm Erica Jane." And Kim's like, okay. And then Kim goes to hug her. She won't hug her. It's very strange. The funniest part to me is the look on real Erica Jane's face, because she's like, okay. And she hugs Kim. She's like, "Hi, Kim. Happy Halloween." Kim just kind of walks away. It is so weird. If I were Erica Jane, I'd be like, okay, you're portraying me as like a real bitch right now. So I'm not sure what that's all about. In the confessional, Lisa Rinna said, "I really wish that Kyle would have given me a heads up that Kim was coming." Okay, how about this for a heads up, Lisa? 500 people were coming. It's her daughter's 30th birthday. Her aunt is probably going to be there. Just saying. Okay, well, Camille is even at this party, so apparently she hasn't gone on her honeymoon yet. And Dorit is just kind of eyeballing her now. Because remember, Dorit now has this information from Lisa Rinna that Camille has said something about her but didn't tell her what. So she's not exactly feeling Camille right now. In her confessional, she said, Camille, Erica, and I have all dressed as cats. And I'm like the fashionista cat. Erica is like the exotic cat. And Camille is like the stray cat. Well, okay, Camille is actually Catwoman, but... And Erica is not in a costume, I still maintain. That is just like Erica's Tuesday going grocery shopping outfit. But yeah, now Kyle comes over to where some of the ladies are sitting down, and she says to Dorit, listen, don't say anything to Camille today, please, because... you know, she just got married and it's Farrah's birthday and I just don't want any trouble here. And while she's saying that, Denise leans over to Kim and she goes, I have no idea what's going on. I never know what's going on. And we get a little cut back to, like, I think one of the first episodes where they're first arguing about the dog and Denise said, what is this about? All right, so the party's going on. The ladies all decide to go on the Ferris wheel. But of course, Kyle is super scared. I mean, oh my God, the thing is probably 20 feet at its highest. I feel like she could have jumped from there and not gotten hurt. Anyway, you know Kyle. She's freaking out about her seatbelt being stuck and everything. We're seeing everyone's having fun at the party. Side note, you guys, is this girl dressed as Karl Lagerfeld? Isn't that hilarious? I mean, I'm not totally sure, but it kind of looks like it. Because with the hair, the glasses, the gloves, I don't know. It's kind of funny. Anyway, now Kyle suggests that all the ladies go over and get a picture taken together. Okay, this is so bizarre the way Lisa Rinna is acting. I am so glad Kyle said this, but like Lisa won't go over, and I don't know if it's that she won't stand by Kim or she won't get in the picture with everyone. And she's like giving them the finger, and I don't know what she's doing exactly. But I'm so glad Kyle said this. She's like, Rinna, get over here. Erica's not that big of a bitch. Honest to God, Erica is the team player here. Erica's the one that in her dress and everything is getting down on the ground to get in this picture. I don't know. It is so weird. Lisa Rinna, like I said, she's giving them the finger. And Kim goes, I feel like that was intended for me. Oh, yeah, it was. That was totally intended for you, Kim. Is she on something, Lisa Rinna? Now she says she still won't get in the picture. I'm feeling sorry for the photographer who's now like just trying to get the shot right, and this woman won't even get in the picture. But she goes, you know what, Kim? I got something to say to you. What you did to Lisa Rinna was really shitty. Giving Lisa Rinna that bunny was really... I don't even know what she's saying because it's bleeped out. Might have been see you next Tuesday. I couldn't tell because her back was to the camera, but she's just kind of going off on Kim as Erica Jane, which is stupid and cowardly and ridiculous. So here's the thing. Yeah, Kim and Lisa Rinna have a horrible history. I think it started with Lisa Rinna, if I'm not mistaken, with her telling, who was that? Vidal Sassoon's daughter. Remember, she was only on for one season. I can't think of her name. Eden. Telling Eden Sassoon that Kim Richards was, did she tell her she was like near death or something? Yeah, it was bad. An alcoholic and in trouble and all that. And then, of course, she denied it and pretended she didn't even remember saying it when Eden turned on her and told everybody else. So that, I think, is what started it. But then Kim, of course, went on to like imply something bad with Harry Hamlin, and that was a whole thing. But in an effort to kind of bury the hatchet, Lisa Rinna bought her the bunny to give to her first grandchild, her grandson. I kind of remember her saying that someone had given her one for her daughters and her daughter loved it. And so she got the exact same kind for Kim's grandson. And then, as we probably all know by now, at the reunion, Kim brought the bunny and gave it back to Lisa Rinna, where she had the single tear roll down her cheek. I mean, I'm kind of making fun of it, but that wasn't cool. It just wasn't. That was a gesture of trying to make up. Whether you think Lisa Rinna meant it or not, doesn't matter. It wasn't a mean thing to do to give her that bunny. So for her to say, I didn't give it to my grandson because I thought it had bad energy. Okay, let's say she did. Let's say she thought it wasn't given in the best spirit, and so she didn't want that energy around her grandson. Then don't give it to him. You don't have to make a big point of giving it back to Lisa on camera at the reunion. I mean, come on. That was shady AF, and you know it, Kim. So, yeah, I mean, Lisa was hurt, and I get it. They hurt each other, yes, but, she ended by doing something pretty crappy. Okay, so as you might imagine, after that whole exchange, Kim is now upset, and she's talking to Dorit, Camille, and Kyle about how she thought that was really uncalled for, and Denise comes over. Now, Denise is friends with Lisa Rinna, and I think Rinna might be even the person that brought her on this show or talked her into it. I don't know. Kim starts by saying that was really uncalled for, and she's going around in Lisa Rinna's pigtails, and Denise said, "What's wrong with that? I thought her costume was really cute." And Kyle goes, "Well, yeah, that's beside the point." And Denise said, "Well, then make it beside the point." Kyle goes, "I am." And she goes, "Well, why is she talking about her costume then if it has nothing to do with it?" Kyle goes, "She's hurt." And Denise is like, "Okay, but then don't talk about the costume." Denise is like, "I'm sorry your feelings were hurt." And Kim goes, "My feelings weren't hurt." And Denise goes, "Well, then what's the problem?" Kyle and Kim look at her like, "Okay, you're not going to understand. You just don't get it." And so they walk away, and now it's just Denise and Dorit standing there, and Aaron comes up and Lisa Rinna comes up. I don't know, somebody called her Lisa, and she's like, "No, Lisa's not here. Lisa Rinna didn't come to the party. I'm Erica Jane." Oh my God. Give it up. It's not that funny. I mean, it was a sight gag at best, right? You showed up looking like her. That's the joke. That was funny. Let it go. You're not acting like her anyway. Aaron heads for the hills as soon as he sees that this is going to get into a conversation. But Lisa Rinna will not acknowledge that she is Lisa Rinna. So Denise has to talk to her as though she's talking about Lisa Rinna. Oh my God. It's so stupid, you guys. So she said, yeah, well, Kim was really upset by what Lisa Rinna's twin did. Okay, no, it's not Lisa Rinna's twin, but everybody, I don't even blame Denise because it's so confusing at this point. So Kim starts walking up just as Lisa Rinna is saying, "I'm sorry, but until she goes up to Rinna and has a heart-to-heart with her, fuck her." Kim said, "Are we good?" And she's like, "Yeah. Do you want me to bring a message back to Lisa Rinna at all?" Yeah, I have a message for her. Enough. So Denise can't take it anymore. And she said, "Listen, I want her to be Lisa Rinna in this moment." So Lisa agrees to be herself. And she and Kim go off to sit down and talk. Okay, believe it or not, this conversation goes pretty well. Lisa apologizes for what she just said as Erica Jane. And she's like, "Yeah, that was out of hand. I shouldn't have said that. But I was hurt what you did with the bunny, and you never apologized for that." Kim said, "Because there was such bad stuff between us, I couldn't find it in me to apologize." I think that was pretty honest. It's so funny. I say this all the time, but like as soon as somebody gets slightly vulnerable or really honest with the other person, it disarms them. Almost without exception, it melts the ice once and for all. And I know it's hard to do. I know it's hard for somebody to get to the place where they let themselves be vulnerable, especially around somebody that they perceive as like their enemy. But honest to God, once you do it, it just melts away their wall and kind of gives them permission to also be vulnerable with you. So I think that's what's happening to some extent. Lisa ends up saying that, I think it took me off guard, really. And Kim said, to see me? And she goes, yeah, I was scared to see you. And Kim said, I'm so sorry. Finally, Lisa said, I'm sorry for whatever happened between us. Can we move on? And Kim, I'm so glad Kim said this too, because they're never going to move on. You guys just generally don't like each other that much. But what Kim said was, let's just forgive each other. So I thought that was good. And they agreed to do that, and they hug. And that is where this episode ends. We get to see some juicy previews. Brandy Glanville comes back. Love me some Brandy. They plan their girls' trip to France. Camille's going to try and start something with Teddy. So we got a lot of juicy stuff coming up. Oh, Camille's house. In the fires. Yeah, lots more to come. And I'll be here for it. Please subscribe to Jill Informed if you haven't already. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please leave a comment. And I'll be back here next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central Time for the next recap of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Bye-bye.